reason I wanted to come up instead of just asking Johnny to come on up. We're still looking for someone to assist with our Chili Fest in February, helping Steve Pickens and Bob Arrington in the kitchen. I need one person to volunteer to shadow that group so you can learn the job. And also we're looking for a couple of people to help Community Seeds call on sponsors for their ranch and rodeo. If you're inclined to do that, well, please see me. And now it's my pleasure, and I've been looking forward to this. Johnny and I have been talking for several months about this program today and planning it. And so Johnny Tharp, who happens to be president of the Daybreak Rotary Club, will come up and introduce the program. After the end of his discussion and presentation, we will all go to this other room and watch a demonstration. Okay?
Thank you, David. While I'm starting the program and introducing our dignitaries, I would like to pass some examples of what students can do when they build robots. This is called an X drive because the wheels look like an X. The robot will drive straight, but all four wheels move. I'd like you to take a look at it and just pass them around. I have another example. Nice technical term. This is called a reverse 4-bar. It's two rectangles, math class. And this allows a robot to go very tall. If you'd like to look at that, pass that around. And let's see, maybe one other simple. That particular, the X drive is really a VEX build because it requires 4 motors. In VEX IQ, you can only use 6, so we don't use it. This will do about the same thing as that other drivetrain wheel. You have 4 wheels, and you'll notice the wheel in the middle. It lets it do this, slide back and forth. This is called an H drive. You pass that around. And there's some more things over here, but we'll stop with that. I'll pass these around. These are the game objects this year. And normally when we start looking at the competition game, there's always a surprise or two when we start looking at the objects. So I'd like to pass these around. You can look at that while we're doing this. And first off, I would like to have Dr. Sweeney stand up, and Principal Mo, would you please come up with him?
That's Principal Mo there.
That's Principal Mo. She is the principal of the #1 research center in Jiangsu province, which is about an hour east of Shanghai.
She actually operates and owns 3 schools with a minimum of 1,000 students of them in Nanjing.
Hey, yes.
So,
Okay. Ms. Chow, would you stand up? Ms. Chow is Principal Mo's assistant. And Mr. Pan, would you stand up? Actually, he should be called Coach Pan. He is the head robotics coach at the research center. And he will be conducting the demonstration once the presentation is over. Thank you. And another thing is, this is how Rotary works. Back in the mid-'80s to early '90s, I was a member of this club. I learned how to cook chili with the best of them. Steve Pickens and I had a lot of discussions back in the kitchen. That's where I met Dr. Sweeney. That was when I was still running the venue business that I owned, and I was selling it out and wanted to go into teaching. Dr. Sweeney gave me my first teaching job, and this was all through meeting him at Rotary. So this is an example of how this really worked personally here. And thank you. Be nice to this guy. He's still my boss. You need to be nice to him.
Johnny, you're fantastic.
And Principal Mo, she's still boss. Dr. Sweeney talked to me about around Christmas of this year with the opportunity to go on for this to take place. This is more than just actually having students come together and build a robot to play a game. This is more like a cultural exchange that we really want the students to get to know each other. The Chinese students know the American students and some of their customs, and we're working on going over there in around Christmas so we can do this in reverse, where the American students can go over to Jiangsu and actually learn more about their customs. So we're doing more than just building robots. We do more than get up in the morning, go to the cafeteria at Boles High School and work on robots all day. We've done several things, and this is what I'd like to show you, some of what's been going on. The name of the camp is the International Youth Robotics Training Camp. And here's our camp objective. Jiangsu Province in China and Boles ISD Middle School in Quinlan will initiate a robotics program with the goal to collaboratively / virtually build a VEX-IQ competition robot to ultimately compete at the 2020 VEX-IQ World Championship in Louisville, Kentucky, which will be April 23rd through the 28th of next year, with equal participation from both schools. So, to start out, they arrived on the 27th of July. The next morning we got them up bright and early. Well, okay, the camp dates are started on July the 27th. It will end this Friday. 2 weeks worth. And it's it's been held at Boles ISD. So the first thing we did, went to Pro Museum. This is all of the camp attendees. And if you'll look back here at the students, we have a grand total of 29 Chinese and American students today. 12 Chinese and 17 Boles students, which I'm very pleased to have this type of participation on something that started as quick as it has, and this is our pilot. It can be considered a pilot program, beta test. We're working our way to see how we can do this and improve upon this relationship. So these are the students, all the students that went to the Pro. And while they were at the Pro, we had somebody on the left playing in the sand, but if you notice on the right, they're driving robots. What else does a robotics student want to do except drive a robot? And this is actually a VEX-IQ robot. That's their basic robot that's at the Pro for anybody, any child or adult that would like to go up and drive the robot, they can.
Johnny, and VEX being significant to us because that's out of Innovation First here in Greenville.
Yes. That is very important. For us around here, I think it's a no-brainer that we use VEX just because of their location, and they have a good product also. So the first day of camp, here we are. We start seeing students work together. They're getting ready to start building a drivetrain. Some more camp pictures. Here they are. They've got one built. Now they're checking it out, see if it will work. The student on the right, she is a high school. She will be a freshman in high school this year. She was in the program last year. She was the programmer. She's teaching CJ on the left. This is Adele Cannon on the right. And CJ on the left. She is teaching her how to start programming. More pictures. Here we go. Well, Chase Gibson, the coach, he is helping the students, helping them while they're driving. Again, you notice American and a Chinese student together. Mr. Pan, Coach Pan, he's actually helping some old students. So this is what this is all about. Everybody helping each other. So since we're doing number one, I could sit here for the rest of the hour and show you picture after picture after picture of camp, but at least you have an idea of what's going on. So for the Chinese students to help learn about us, we start taking them to do different things. So we went on the tour of the Audie Murphy Cotton Museum. And of course there's a group picture. Next thing we took them to, last Wednesday at this time, we were at the Texan Theater, listening to Friendly Live. And that reminded me of the Grand Ole Opry, the way it was worked, because the entertainment was actually being broadcast at that time on 93.5. So here's students sitting in the theater and a group picture afterwards on the stage. So at the end of last week, the Boles students went home. Chinese students got to go to Houston. They took a trip to Houston to do a little sightseeing again and learn more about our culture. Claire Chenault is very big to the Chinese because he helped them defeat the Japanese in World War II. Very, very big.
Born in Commerce, Texas.
And he was born in Commerce, Texas. Thank you, Dr. Sweeney.
Yep.
Okay, what they did at the flights at the Flying Tiger Academy was they have a flight instructors, and they took 3 students up at a time up in a single engine airplane. They took about a 45-minute plane ride over Lake Conroe. So this was the students in the hangar afterwards, and here's our flight instructor. They gave all the students certificates for completing the flight. That afternoon they actually got to fly a simulator. And if you were lucky enough to be the one sitting in the co-pilot seat, you would actually turn the plane over to let you fly it on the level flight. Oh, after the next morning, went to Galveston that afternoon. There's not a whole lot to see. Whole lot for us to show in Galveston. Maybe a dolphin in the water when we rode the ferry. But Sunday morning we went to NASA. And I grew up during the Mercury program, so I really liked going to NASA. But here we are as a group picture by the Saturn V rocket. They have it in a building, and then there's them. They're actually looking at the different Apollo missions that were listed along the wall. After NASA, we came back home. Yesterday, in 97-degree heat, at 11 o'clock, they were out on a ropes course at Boles. A ropes course is something that takes the student and they go out of their comfort level. They have to challenge themselves. So, first activity is a balance beam. You see the Chinese student with the 2 instructors, and they're helping him stay on this beam that will wobble, so he has to trust it. Okay, this is a zip line tower. These are all the students lined up. On the other side where you can't see it, they have a rock climbing wall about a fourth of the way up. Tower's about 40 foot high, I think. It looks like it to me. I didn't ask anybody. But they climb up, and they get up about this high, then they switch over and they climb up a ladder. Here's one of the Chinese students climbing the ladder up for the zip line. Once he's on top, they hook him up. He goes down. Who all zip lined in here before? Yeah, you did. You were the last one yesterday. Zip lining is fun. Did it at Breckenridge last year. And once you start, you're apprehensive when the first time you do it. But the minute you start sliding down, you just forget about what's going on. You're flying around. You just enjoy the scenery. This was at Breckenridge down a ski slope. So, where do we go to from here after today? Immediately after we finish with the presentation here, we're going to Innovation First for a tour. After that, we'll go back to the Boles and we'll continue building this afternoon until about 5 o'clock.
Mr. Johnny, they asked for a special cultural experience between Innovation First and Boles. What was that? You're going to stop somewhere. Walmart.
Walmart.
They're going to go to Walmart.
All right, we got 2 things. Got 2 things going on this afternoon. The important one is Mr. Pan needs to go buy a present for his fiancee back in China. And that is the most important thing we're going to do this afternoon. Then Ms. Chow asked this morning, the students would like to take presents home with them. They wanted to take some food, some toys, so we decided Walmart was the closest place that would fit that description. So, after we do that, then we'll go back and finish building until 5. Continue building. Then Friday, we'll have an end-of-camp scrimmage. I'll show you the game here in a minute. We will actually run a mini tournament for them. We'll do the camp awards. Camp celebration is a party out at my house at Club Lake. So I'm going to try to take them around in my deck boat. Bob Arrington had graciously volunteered to come over and help me out to take some students around the lake. So we'll try to give them a good time that afternoon. The most important thing is the Boles are working on going to Jiangsu province right after Christmas this year. So we'll see if we can put that trip together. The next thing I'd like to do is I'd like to play you the video. This is what students see and coaches see when they start the first of the year. Okay. Don't need that anymore. Oh. Okay, let's put this on full screen. This is what we see every year. Did they give us any indication of what kind of robot we need to build? No. So, we'll look at this, and would like you to watch this.
VexIQ Challenge Squared Away.
There are 3 ways to play VexIQ Challenge Squared Away. First, 2 teams will collaborate in 60-second teamwork challenge matches, working together to maximize their score. Both teams will receive the same points. Each of these teams consists of 2 drivers and 1 robot. One driver will operate the robot for the first half of the match, and the other driver will operate it for the second half.
Second, each team will have the opportunity to play driving skills challenge matches. In these matches, teams have 60 seconds of driver-controlled time to score as many points as possible.
Third, each team will have the opportunity to play programming skills challenge matches, in which they have 60 seconds of autonomous robot operation to score points. No drivers allowed.
VexIQ Challenge Squared Away is played on a 4-foot by 8-foot field. Robots and game objects start on the field in predetermined positions. There are scoring zones in the 4 corners of the field and 3 platforms along the sides of the field. Be sure to double-check the robot and starting position rules this year, as they may not be the same as previous VexIQ Challenge games.
The scoring objects in VexIQ Challenge Squared Away are 3-inch diameter balls and 7-inch cubes. There are a total of 35 balls and 7 cubes on the field.
The object of the game is to score as many points as possible with your alliance partner in one of 2 ways: by scoring balls in or on cubes, and by moving cubes to their associated scoring zones.
A ball scored inside a cube is worth 1 point each. A ball scored on top of a cube is worth 2 points each. Teams will have to experiment with balls and cubes to figure out the best way to score points here.
A red or blue cube scored in the same color scoring zone is worth 10 points. And a green cube scored on a platform is worth 20 points.
Cubes and balls are scored independently of each other. So, if a robot places 3 balls on top of a cube, that alliance has just earned 6 points. Then, if they score that cube in a scoring zone, they have just earned 10 more points. That's a total of 16 points.
For official robot requirements and game rules for VexIQ Challenge Squared Away, please see the VexIQ Challenge Game Manual found at roboticseducation.org and vexiq.com. To register a team, find events near you.
That's the commercial. Next, we'd like to go in there and let you see a demonstration. The one thing you noticed on this game, there is a lot of stuff on that play field.